15 years. Mr. Hassim has always been there to provide us with assistance, with help, with guidance. Today is going to share with a keynote speech, the title of which is Social Network in Media Reality and the 21st Century Learning. And the skills addressed are Facebook Me or YouTube. I hope I'm not going to be of those who are going to be interrupted. Yes, it sounds very attracting and interesting. So, Mr. Hassim, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Steve, for taking the to address such a respectable and welcoming audience. It's my pleasure to be in my place, a place that I still remember the early days of my work as an inspector. When the job we started together here was here before me, but when I came, I found him very helpful as supervisor with his long experience before me, and then we started a long journey as inspectors in the area. So many teachers came to the area, so many left, and to some extent we're privileged because we always see new faces. Then we still feel happy to work with the old faces that are present here. The current presentation is originally a presentation that I gave in the CNES conference, May 31st National Conference. Siahman and his colleagues contacted me and said that this presentation would fit within the theme of the regional conference in Tinher. Would you accept to do that? I said, if you find it fitful, I find it fitful too. And I try to be, because this time I have more time to talk about certain details. There in the class we have only 20 minutes and it's not sufficient to talk about such a huge topic as this. And I do really appreciate the choice of the topic, because as the audience said before, that English is always taking the lead in the educational system in Morocco. It's true, because our openness to the different experiences that English allows us to be open to give us this privilege to be exposed to the new things and to bring them to our educational system. The topic, the 21st century skills or learning skills, is related to a certain shift in the history of humanity from the Industrial Revolution to information technology revolution. And this revolution has been clearly seen by the end of the century. It is by the late 90s and the early years of this decade, we started to feel the impact of the technological revolution, especially information technology, on our society. Now it is more powerful when it impacts the systems of governance, the systems of life, and the systems of governance and the relationship between people. This is clearly seen in the media, especially on TV, which has a lot of power on people. Every day, people sit in front of TVs, watch what's happening on and so on. And Facebook and YouTube infiltrate the television, and the television is no more the only source of information. Sometimes YouTube is more powerful than the TV, and we will see why YouTube is more powerful. In this presentation, I'll be tackling these points. So, why are people afraid of YouTube and Facebook, and there is some resistance to deal with them as educational tools for today's education and today's generations? What are the 21st century learning skills, and how are they related to the modern technology? The rise of the communication and networking aspect of the internet, and what are the shifts that have taken place within ICT? Why is Facebook Me is so welcoming, but YouTube Me is so threatening? What about ALT teaching, and how can we incorporate these new skills and new technologies within the classroom? Well, this is why YouTube is very powerful. It declares the end of an era and the beginning of another, with all the devastating results that we see. I think you know this icon. It's an icon of a revolution in the Arab world. It started in Tunisia, and then it's spreading around. The media has started to benefit from the services, free services of YouTube and Facebook. And people are resorting to these tools to express themselves. And this is something that is not solely related to the revolution in the Arab world, but it has some date earlier. And in Morocco, I still remember the Turkish hunter who YouTubed some policemen taking bribes for certain drivers, and it has declared certain terror among the officials in the police. And even later, there are so many other cases that took place. So the normal citizen has started to gain certain power that has never been granted to him or her before. So using YouTube, you start to exercise certain power, certain authority over the authority. And people start to take decisions in Facebook that other people in parliament should respond to. So Facebook started to become another parliament for people who want to express themselves, to express their wants, their needs, to take decisions. Now people are taking decisions and dictating their decisions on authority people. And this is a really big change in society, in communication, and so on. Given this power that has been granted or started to grow with YouTube and Facebook, and by the way, these are just symbols of this ICT revolution. There are other means and other ways, because before this YouTube is shown on the internet, it has been taken by a phone, mobile phone, or by a photo camera before it is put there. So the mobile phone is another tool, and so on. And these tools, because of this unprecedented importance given to them, why not transfer them to the classroom? Because they are there. And we have witnessed that these technological tools are going to stay with us for long. So why not bring them into the classroom and use them as pedagogic educational tools? Of course, because they are representing today's world, you cannot continue communicating with the new generation using just textbooks and blackboards or whiteboards or whatever. You need to go beyond the traditional ways of communicating with students is today's students' tools. Whether we like it or not, they are using YouTube, they are using Facebook in their everyday communication. So we need to use the same language with them if we want to keep them motivated and still feel interested in their studies. It should be part of today's education. If you go to YouTube and go to Facebook, we already see that so many people, educators, use Facebook and YouTube for educational and pedagogical purposes. Why not us as Moroccan teachers of English? It's today's technology. The internet, the mobile technology is invading our everyday life, so we have to use them in our everyday work. There is a certain contradiction between the rise of the importance of these tools and the reluctance of teachers to adopt them and bring them into the classroom. And this reluctance and resistance comes from different sources, and as we always know, teachers are afraid of new things. You don't get rid of the old ways until they are forced to. And we are forced to. Now, if we don't use these tools, we will present ourselves as outdated. So those who don't know show this resistance. So what they need is just to get initiated to these tools and start to know how to use them. Those who have never, sorry for the mistake, who have never tried them, they always produce certain negative prejudices against these tools, because people normally are afraid or against things they reject or debunk them. And also, those who don't want to try them or have always have negative attitudes about them, they always discourage people to use them as thinking about those things as being indecent and things that young people play with. And this is something we used to have with emails at the beginning. We were very skeptical about the use of emails, then we adopted them. And then we chatted. We always say that just chatting, there is no use in that. And then text proved that chatting is a very solid, powerful way of communicating outside the classroom. And now we have this power of the image and sound for people. Before that, I should talk about the shift that has been known in the technological sphere. At the beginning, people were interested in the content that they can get from the internet. Most of the time, at the beginning, when we go to the internet, we retrieve information. Later, we start to use email to communicate, chat, and so on. After communication comes networking, because networking is more complex, a more complex way of communicating. It's networking. It's not one person communicating to one person, but it's one person communicating to a group of people, and those group of people are communicating to another group, and there is a bigger network that is unlimited. And as I said before, when you send a message, you will never know where it will end. It will travel different directions. So it's very important to give importance to the idea of networking. It's not only communicating, it's networking. People work in groups and communicating to different networks and so on. Now, how is this related to the 21st century skills? From a definition that was given by different experts about 21st century skills, I deduced the following skills. Some of them are very familiar, but they are still important. Some of them are related to this technological development. We have the basic skills, the 4 skills as we know them, speaking, reading, listening, and writing. We have also arithmetic, which we should not mention here, but it's part of the basic skills. We have multidisciplinarity. We do not have that limited scope of vision. For all people who want to function in today's world, you have to have bits of different things in order to function in the different things that you may be open to. Digital literacy is also part of the 21st century skills. You cannot function in today's world if you don't have the basics of the digital world. Civic responsibility as part of 21st century skills. You cannot isolate yourself from the problems that surround you in the community. We have lower and higher thinking skills, and this is something that has been introduced earlier by Bloom in Bloom's taxonomy, and they are still valid. We have very basic thinking skills like understanding and comprehending, and going deeper into higher skills like analyzing, evaluating, synthesizing, and other critical thinking skills. We have leadership skills. In order to be effectively function in today's world, we have to have those skills of dealing with groups of people and leading groups of people and presenting yourself as being able to take the initiative in whatever area you are put in. Collaboration skills. Today's world is not an individualistic world, it's a world where people work together in groups, in teams, and so on. Global perspective or vision oriented. We know that the world today is interrelated, and things that happens in one place affects another place in another place, and we are interrelated as human beings. And what is happening in this planet affects us wherever we are or wherever we are. Equity as a notion of treating men and women and people from different backgrounds as equal to each other. Freedom and creativity is a very important element in today's world, and in addition to innovation, learner-centeredness. So everything should be centered around the learner in the classroom. It should not be anymore a teacher-centered classroom. We have to give power to the students to solve their own problems, to talk about their own needs and wants, and the teacher there is only to facilitate and guide the students towards the achievement of their goals. We are talking about formal and informal learning that is going beyond the curriculum and going beyond the classroom. Learning does not stop inside the classroom. It starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. It's open to the community, to the internet, to other sources which are not in the classroom. The learning how to learn skills are very important in today's world. We do not always think about those superficial learnings, but we have to go deep into things. We have to learn how to solve our problems ourselves instead of waiting for others to bring solutions from elsewhere. Adaptability to the different situations, and we heard so many people before saying that the world is changing rapidly and we have to adapt to the changes. We have to adapt to the changes of time and to the changes of place. Wherever we are, we have to function. System thinking is another notion that we have to adopt. There are different systems of thinking, and we have to adopt the concepts that govern different systems wherever we are. Problem-solving skills, of course, they are practical skills. Risk-taking is another skill, teamwork, love of learning, and self-discovery. So these are the general 21st century skills as generally thought of. So how can we incorporate these notions into the classroom? And this is why in my title I tried to find a connection between technology and 21st century and today's people. So how these items, these elements can fit within the tools that we use in technology, using Facebook, YouTube, and other communication tools provided by ICT can help incorporate all these elements without without feeling that there are a lot of obstacles. Because when you limit yourself to the confines of the classroom, you will see that there are a lot of obstacles that hinder you achieve these 21st century skills. But if you think beyond, as we say, the black box, beyond the classroom, beyond the walls of the classroom, then there are other opportunities that are already there. The internet is there, the students are using it for different purposes. Why not use that for educational purposes in our classrooms? I find this way of classifying the 21st century skills very interesting. I took it from a YouTube document. We are not taking knowledge from books alone. You can take them from YouTube. I took these from YouTube, from a presentation given on YouTube. And there is this equation, 3R's multiplied by 7C's lead to the 21st century skills. So the 3R's stand for the basic skills, reading, writing, and arithmetic. So these are the things that students basically learn from early stages of their education, but they are not sufficient. They used to be sufficient at a certain time, but today they are not sufficient enough to help you survive in today's world. You need more of things. So the 7 C's are, to some extent, cover most of the elements that are presented earlier in the definition of 21st century learning skills. You have critical thinking and problem solving. So this is a very important notion. Students need to learn how to evaluate and come to conclusions and to be skeptical about everything that is presented to them and to give very solid arguments about the things that are presented to them, and also to deal with problems in a very positive way. The problems are there. Wherever you go, you will find problems. Even in the United States, there are problems. But you have to face those problems positively and think of ways of solving your own problems with the means that you have. You do not need to have a lot of resources, a lot of money in order to solve certain problems. You can solve problems within the limited resources that you have, but you have to be creative in the way that you deal with the problems. And creativity is part of the notions that we have here. So creativity and innovation is another notion that we have to instill in our classrooms. And by the way, these 21st century are very important because they are related to the job market. If the students are not equipped with these skills, they will not be able to function in the job market world. Creativity and innovation is a notion that should be instilled in our classrooms. We need to give our students certain freedom and a margin of thinking about how to create ideas and how to innovate things. Because the world now is developing based on the idea of being innovative. If you don't innovate, you will die. And you see that new technology is developing day to day and minute to minute. There are always new things, there are always new solutions, and we have to cope with that. And these are part of the skills, as I say, we talked about adaptability. We have to adapt ourselves to new things. And possibly teachers refuse to accept new things with certain reluctance just because they were taught based on very old notions. Adaptability is a very important notion, and we have to be able to challenge ourselves, our visions, our attitudes based on the challenges that we have in reality. Communication is a very important and crucial skill that our students should acquire. And when students acquire communication skills, they become very smart students, and they sometimes surprise us by the ability and the power of their thoughts and ideas. And many of you who worked in Access will see the impact of the communication power that the students have when they use the PowerPoint and they express themselves before an audience. It gives you an idea that the student is not a simple student, he's a very advanced student in expressing his or her thoughts in front of an audience. So communication gives an extra value to our students. We no more want students who sit silent in the classroom and listen to us while we are talking. And one of the quotes that I found in YouTube says that the most killing person in education is the teacher who keeps talking all the time. We have to be aware of this. We have to give more opportunity to students to talk, and by creating those opportunities shows that we are well experienced to create opportunities for communication in the classroom. Collaboration and leadership are also part of the 21st century. If we don't collaborate in a school, in a workplace, in a community, in a group, if we don't collaborate, we are doomed to failure. Because collaboration is a key element in today's world. People do not work individually. And even in the job area, you see that those old offices, like boxes, are no more useful today, and we have offices open to each other, and we hope that we have classes open to each other and see what science students do and what Arabic teacher do and what English teacher do and technology teacher do, because we have to open up to each other, because we are treating and dealing with the same students. We have to have a very unified vision so as not to create clashes in the minds of the students. But unfortunately, at least in Morocco, teachers work alone, individually, without sharing their ideas and thoughts and projects and so on. And if we don't do that, we will not advance in our professional development. Collaboration needs leadership, because you cannot collaborate just like that if you do not have this power of leading a group. Leadership is not something that is unique and only one person can do, but it's something that we can learn. And leadership, as we talk about participative governance, is one of the notions that are new and we have to adopt in our educational community. Leadership should be part of our professional skills. We should know how to lead certain groups towards certain objectives and the achievement of certain projects, and this leadership can be shifted from one person to the other. Cross-cultural understanding. We are open to different societies, to different cultures. If we don't have this skill of being open to other cultures, what we have is just clashes of cultures. We have to admit that there are different cultures around the world, and we have to be open to different cultures and to create a certain dialogue in order to coexist in a global world. Career learning and self-reliance is also one of the notions. We do not always receive expertise from external bodies. We can organize ourselves together as we do in NATE. Nothing comes from outside. Everything comes from within. We work together in order to develop as professionals, and we sometimes rely on ourselves. We learn from each other in order to develop professionally. In Morocco, in English, if we do not have the example of NATE, we will be like any other subject, waiting for professional development to come from the ministry or to come from any other institution. But within our English community, we rely on ourselves to develop. And thanks to this collaborative work, many of us could achieve advanced levels of professionalism and awareness of their job. Computing and ICT literacy, it's put on the end, but it's one of the very important elements because it is the tool that leads to the inclusion of all other elements. So computing and ICT literacy is very crucial in today's world. A teacher without this ICT literacy cannot survive in today's world, and nowadays it's not only literacy that we need. We need to have advanced skills in how to use the camera, how to edit video, how to edit audio, how to create interactive activities, how to bring digital materials into the classroom, how to lead our students into projects online, and so on. So you cannot do that with very limited knowledge about ICT. We need advanced knowledge about that. So I think that this summarizes to some extent the 21st century skills and its relation to the basic skills and how ICT can help in achieving 21st century skills in our education. I talked earlier about the shift towards networking, and this is something that is taking place in Morocco, and as you know, internet connection is very solid, and we have at least 3 providers of this service. They are competing with each other, providing us with cheaper service, and most of the schools are connected, most of the houses are connected. So the digital Morocco is taking place now before 2013. And by the way, the Digital Morocco 2013 is a government project which has on the way, and many governments, many services are starting to be provided online. You do not need to go to the airport to buy a ticket, you can buy it online. Now we have digitized identity cards, which includes all the information there. So in the future, we are not going to need to go to different offices. We just go to a place where there is a machine and you will get all the documents you want. This is the change of even identity cards and so on is part of the 2013 project. The banks are now functioning digitally. You don't need to go to the bank to know how much you have in your account. Any ATM can do the job. You can get your money, you can get how much money you have, you can get how much income you have, and whether you are still working within the limits, and so on. At night, at day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and so on. This leads to another sort of shift, which is the shift from products to services. So now services are getting more importance at the expense of products. And for example, in advanced countries, you can buy things online. We're still working on that in Morocco, but anywhere you go around the world, especially in advanced countries, you can buy anything you want online, cheaper than when you go to the store and buy that. We are hoping to have this service online very soon, and we will have it, because it's a question of globalization and commercial and e-commerce and so on. We are doomed to go into that. We have moved from the local to the global, and from preserving the status quo to continue investment in innovation. So things are changing, and we have to adapt to this change. Now, coming back to Facebook and YouTube. Well, I brought, as I said, YouTube and Facebook because this symbolize the technological revolution that is taking place nowadays. Possibly there are two different things, but they are powerful tools in today's world. In YouTube, you have, most of the time, you have only video shown there. You show your videos, you expose them to an audience. Sometimes the audience is known, sometimes it is not known. If the video is restricted to a specific audience, you know your audience, it is put there open to all people, you don't even your audience. It's a message that you put there, it's an imposed message, nobody can change it, or it's a video that you put there. You can create a TV channel where you put only your videos, not mixed with other videos, but they are in a specific area with a link or with a YouTube address with your name if you want to put your name there. On the other side, we have Facebook. In Facebook, mainly there is communication. And most importantly, there is networking, there is sharing. In YouTube, you can share videos, but in Facebook, you can share all sorts of things, video, audio, text, messages. You can create networks of groups that work on a certain topic. It can be a restricted group, it can be a limited group. And through your postings, you develop a voice. And even if you don't know the name of the person, you can know the philosophical conceptions and choices and decisions that lay behind the person. You create a community where people can discuss. So Facebook symbolizes why I put them together, because Facebook symbolizes communication, dialogue, developing ideas, expressing oneself, taking decisions together. YouTube is an imposed message. Take it or leave it. So if you do not create a certain dialogue, communication, networking in the class, people will YouTube you. We put you on YouTube as a kind of expression of that blockage we have in communication. And people, when they resort to YouTube, it's the end of it. But if it is an open dialogue and communicated discussion. You have development of process and a long life into the future. So how can we relate these tools to the classroom? And I will just focus on YouTube and Facebook because there are a lot of, plenty of tools on the internet which are related to GDP. Now you can use them. By the way, Facebook can incorporate YouTube, but not the others. So you can post video documents on YouTube and show them on Facebook. So Facebook is more complex and lend itself to many ways of exploitation. So in Facebook you can create a class group. A class can have their space with a certain name that they have, and they can communicate together in a limited area where nobody can interfere. Nobody can send or answer messages if it is restricted. You can have special interest groups because students can work on projects, and if they cannot meet in a certain place, they can meet online. You can chat, you can discuss, you can post messages or documents, you can develop a certain project. So in this way, you will not have that limited obstacle of the place. Students can work from their homes if they have connection at home. They can work from cyber cafes if they can have access to that. You can organize graded discussions on certain topics related to the syllabus. As I said before, we have topics or theme-based syllabus in our Moroccan ELT. So in each year we have 10 themes. So whenever you have a certain unit, you can post a topic and students can discuss them during the unit. And students can report their ideas, so they can have further discussion and developing ideas throughout. Students can share materials. As I said, they can share links. These links can lead them to videos, to tests, and to worksheets. And in the past, it was very difficult for a teacher to have a space online because creating a website is a little bit complex. Not all teachers can create a website, even now. But you can create a Facebook page easily. It's even easier than creating an email. And you can share documents easier than you share them on email. You just click on share, and you lead to the name or your copy and paste design, and it's there. If you want to put a description, you put just one sentence or two, and it's there. You can share worksheets, as I said, you can share tests. Combined with other elements, for example, Gmail, you can put all your documents in Gmail, and you get a link from Gmail and you put it in Facebook, and people can use those documents, even if they are in your email. Nobody can have access to your email, but from Facebook, you can have access to the documents that you put as open. You ask students to work on video projects, they upload them on YouTube, and they share them on Facebook. So these things, this interrelation between documents in the digital world is very subtle, and lends itself to many ways of pedagogical educational exploitation. It depends on our own creativity and innovation. The use of Facebook and YouTube in a structured and purposeful way will provide a very context and for students to acquire personal skills And you know that all students, they use the Facebook for different purposes. They use YouTube, they use other tools online, but they use it their own way. It's not structured, it's not pedagogical, it's not well informed. And what we need is informed citizens who can work in a structured way, who have got the skills of 21st century of leading, collaborating, communicating, criticizing, and so on. This is what we need. If it is not done in the school, there is no other place where they can do it. So from school, we can help them acquire these skills through the use of technology. You cannot do it with the textbook, unfortunately, but you can do it with technology. As part of the 21st century, we say that today's world is a world of the technological, ICT, technological information revolution. So students should acquire good uses, best practices of ICT, and they can do that if they do them in a pedagogical context, educational context. They can develop higher order skills, they can analyze, they can synthesize, they can evaluate before they share documents. ICT encourages creativity because there are plenty of ways how we can present certain digital materials. It all depends on the way how we envision how to present the materials. It encourages creativity, it fosters group work. You cannot work alone on the digital world. It's no way. You have to work with people, either here locally or broadly over the world. It develops job market skills. These skills are very, very useful. The skills of technology are useful in the job market. People who have got these skills are more privileged than people who do not know them. So it's one way of fostering competitivity in the job market. Students taking responsibility of their own learning. They leave the school, they leave the classroom, but still they can work at home on a project if it is on Facebook, or if it entails uploading on YouTube and so on. But if you tell them do your homework, you never read that. So many of them don't do their homework because it's very archaic, it's not part of their own, it's more acquired skills. Today's students are very multitasked and they get bored easily. You need quick things. Staying at home doing pencil and paper activities get them bored. We have to adapt ourselves to them because they are the future. I think this is what I can say about my speech was up to the